Images of broken lies.
Hello and welcome to another movie review from MBE. We'd just like to thank you once again for joining us here on our YouTube channel and of course our Twitch stream here on this Friday night. I'm one of your co-hosts, Stephen John McLaughlin. Our other co-host is John Christoph Waltz.
He's
sitting there.
Editing the
our
shot.
special guest and our good friend Ruth Aaron joins us for what potentially could be our final movie review of
Did you see that change there?
2021. This is of course Bhim, Jim Beam, whatever you want to call it. This film rocks. 9.6 out of 10 on IMDb. Directed by TJ Nanavel, I hope I've said that right. Starring the great Saria. Prakash Raj is in there as well, and Lejo Mal Jose. Now, a whole host of stars in this, I'm sure, but those are the sort of standouts at the moment that we're going to talk about probably the most, I think. But yes, listen, first and foremost, we'd like to thank the community for voting on this as well, because we did put them to a vote. We decided very late on Sunday, I think, that we hadn't involved you guys for quite a while in terms of choosing the films, but we kind of knew where this was going to go, to be honest with you, especially after we spoke to the Ruth on Friday night in terms of Doctor. Now I think we did the trailer reaction for that as well, and it did look like a good film, but by all accounts it's not that great. And exactly, John, Transformers. Jai Beam for me was the teaser. I think it was the teaser was my sort of first brush into it. I know that you mentioned Saria's look, John, and I know Liam. He does look like Liam. But that was their first sort of clue of what this film was going to be about. A lot of violence in the teaser, as I recall. Your man now. A lot of
violence in this movie.
I will get there. This film is a very good film, by the way. But there's two things, and I told John before we came on that kind of not ruined it for me or anything, but kind of I worked it out very early on what was happening, and it was possibly because of the teaser trailer with your man plays Raja Kuna, Manik Kandan, I think his name is, who was great in this film, by the way.
Kandan,
this is spoiler, by the way. We've got to mention that as well. We're going to be talking spoilers. We know the film's only been out a couple of weeks, so if you've not seen it,
move away.
Maybe save this video and come back once you've seen Jai Beam, because you don't want to miss this film. But there was a couple of things, and it is in regards to the character Raja Kanu that I will mention as we get on further down the line.
Yeah, Stephen, you have. I'm going to come back with a little rebuff to it.
Yeah,
we'll see if I can change your mind. Because I think it was deliberate.
I don't think you have to, John.
I think it was deliberate.
I don't think you have to change my mind, though.
Yeah, I think you still enjoyed the movie, Stephen, a hell of a lot, to be fair.
Yes, yes. So it didn't ruin it for me.
I
sometimes you do work things out in your head, where things are going. Sometimes you're good at doing that. Sometimes you can't see it coming.
I'm going to go the Columbo route with it. The way they were doing it. What
was the film we did? Pepper.
Yeah.
Peta, I did not see I didn't see how that was ending. That twist at the very end of Peta. That made my jaw drop. So I'm not a clever clogs.
I felt so bad for VG Sefi in that movie. You get wronged badly.
I can't believe they did that, but it was good. In this case, I did see things happening, and there's two reasons for it. But it didn't ruin it for me. You're right. 30 minutes into the film, that's all we got. We were actually establishing Singeni and Rajakanu very early on in this film before we even get to see Saria. You're right, 30 minutes, 40 minutes in before we get to see the sort of main star of the show.
I think
it was important. It was really important to invest in the victims first and foremost. I know we joked about it, my cousin Vinny, earlier on, in terms of that, and it was a courtroom comedy drama, but we didn't really get to know the actual people that were being accused. Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid, was in this film, and we didn't know anything about his character because there was no development. They had a 5-minute bit at the start how they were accused, and then it moved on to the focus of the lawyers and the judge, and that's how a lot of courtroom films go. It's more focused on, you talk about Al Pacino in Scent of a Woman. Is that right? Scent of a Woman?
Scent of a Woman,
it's the draw is on him.
That's another great courtroom, Stephen. It's a school court. You're right, it's another good one. I love.
But the focus is on Al Pacino, and you would naturally assume this film's going to be about Saria. It's going to be all about him. The focus will be on him. Predominantly 90% of this film is Saria. I guarantee you. then you watch it and it's
Singeni.
not. Ruth made a great observation. She made a good point that probably John and I probably didn't pick up on. I can't speak for John, but myself.
What was you saying? We'll find
Did
out.
kind of take a back seat in this movie in terms of presence. When he was there, it did count, but it was very important for that first half of that film because I really. I connected with those characters, Singeni and the daughter, and Rajakanu as well. I really sympathised for this character. He was trying to do his best for his family. He had to go and walk away from them, and go and find work out of town, out of the village. And it's that lasting shot. He turns round one last time, and it's the last time he actually sees them, which is quite sad in a way, but I thought it was very important. Structurally,
amazing
as
stuff.
well. When you talk about budget, you've got to talk about skill. I mentioned this last week. You've got to give people the opportunities to learn their trade, and we've watched films from the mid 90s to the late 90s right through to modern day, and we can see that progression thanks to Ruth. She's really opened her eyes up in terms of how South Indian cinema has really progressed over the last 20-30 years, but it's all the big part of it is obviously budget, but also educating as well. People have got to learn how to produce films. They've got to learn how to cinematography. They've got to learn how to create a score. All that comes from education, and that takes a long time.
Inspirational figures.
Yeah, exactly.
You thought that, and you were right, that Rajakanu had died pretty early on in this movie.
There was two clues that gave it away, John. We watched the teaser, and he was in it for a split second. And this guy is predominantly in the first half hour of the film. I went, I only remember him being in the teaser trailer for a split second. This doesn't look good. The movie's poster is the biggest giveaway for me.
Not even in it.
The poster doesn't even have him in it. It's only
it's true.
It's
the
Saria
kid, the wife.
in it.
Chandru.
Singeni and the kid. Yeah.
So
even though we had that feeling that he did not make it to the end of this film, how upsetting was it to see the photo of his dead body?
It was terrible.
I was really upset with it.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming, but the minute I saw that, and I think is it Rajisha Vijayan?
Is that his sister?
She's the one looking through the photographs, isn't she?
I think that's his sister.
Chandru, I think.
The teacher. She was a teacher. Yeah.
Because
her moment with the little guy was brilliant.
Wasn't it, with the photographs? It was her that was going through them.
Yeah, I think it was.
And then she saw the photograph and she broke down. Yeah, an amazing moment. Very sad. But although I knew it was coming, it was still very upsetting to see.
They're running back and forth.
I know. It did not make any sense. And I know there were a bit of, that bunch of police officers were almost like the Three Stooges at one point. They were so incompetent, but I didn't think they were as incompetent of not locking the cell doors. I thought, I'm not buying that. There's no way that they would have just left those doors unlocked. They had to get, especially your man with the tash. I
don't know his name. I'm trying to find him.
But I hated him. I really wanted to rip that moustache right off his face. And he was all about numbers. It was all about
promotion.
Results. Anyway,
if you like, Stephen, getting into standout moments, which we're already in, but I know for you, I share the same standout moments as you. You've got two, haven't you?
It's involving Singeni twice. I thought Lijo Mal Jose, I hope I'm saying her name right, because she was fantastic in this film. She was really really prominent throughout and carried the movie on an emotional level from start to finish. And the two moments for me was the one when she was at the police station and the police were ordered to return her home safely, by escort, and she refused the lift. She walked home with her daughter. She walked for a bit and they were following, and then she was on the bus and they followed the bus. It was a great shot. The back. Yeah, you saw it out the back window. They were following the bus. It's the fact
the president actually says, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
we've been told to. And just the fact that they get that mustachio bitch that you hate and I hated, Stephen, had his sort of legs swayed from under him. He was bullying us.
I think that's his name. Yeah.
The head of police.
Yeah.
And then it was Chandru. Chandru was the architect behind the whole thing, but the fact the police sort of the head police figure phoned up and basically says, "Look, get a grip of yourself, you idiot. I want you to take her home and personally drive her in the Jeep. The fact that you had to backtrack was absolutely sensational. The look you gave her.
Yeah, the other one was, I can't remember the character's name. I can't remember the actor. But it was basically trying to buy her off. Was, we'll offer you a sum of money, we'll drop the case. And Singeni, again, you know the quote, John. I don't know. I wouldn't even attempt to try and quote that. It was a really good quote at home as well. But it kind of embodied her character, and what she stood up for, what she believed in, and she didn't want to dampen the spirit, in the memory of her husband, her late husband, by
DGP guy
accepting, a cash amount for what had happened, and it was a great quote. I can't even find it, John, but
it's basically something along the lines of, I could take the money and then also we would be better off, but what would I tell my kids when they grow up and ask, what happened to my father and how have we get this money? We've got this money from the people that killed your father. She couldn't live with herself. She'd rather her family die and have principle. Not Surya. Surya is close in second, but for me it's Lijo Mulhausen.
I have to agree with that, John. I've got to agree as well. I think it's because she took me by surprise, because I was expecting the Surya show. I mean that in a good way, by the way, because that's what I wanted. But I got more. I actually did get more through this tremendous actor, Lijo Mulhausen. Thought she just carried the film tremendously, and your standout moments are predominantly with her involved, and I think there is that moment, John. I think she's all cried out. I don't think she can do it any longer. She's
absolutely dead inside,
and the fact that she's pregnant all this time, the character that is, and having to look after the young daughter as well, the child, who I took a shine to, because I've got two daughters, and there's something about her I just liked. And she had a few moments herself. She was she's very a cute little girl, but she was there to the very end, and there's a little cute scene at the very end as well involving newspapers with Chandru, which I thought was a nice little scene as well. But for me, it's Lijo Mulhausen as well.
Another moment before.
Yeah, for me, I mean, all the elements are there, and I think getting back to a couple of weeks ago when we watched this teaser, I thought this was going to be a very interesting film, in the sense it's going to be a courtroom drama, and I would get a lot out of this. I got so much more. I really did get so much more. There was times when I was nearly crying, so much that it affected me. Some of the scenes were just hard hitting. I felt that the actors they were all playing their A game. In a film that's predominantly supposed to be a Surya film, I think the supporting cast, can you call them that? I don't know. I think they're all on an even keel. I think they all played their part. Even the villains in the film, I thought they were very convincing villains, which made them really good actors as well. For me, Singeni, the character, Lijo Mulhausen, was a standout performer for me, ahead of Surya, surprisingly. This is the director's second movie as well, which I was very surprised about. He wrote this film as well. This guy, don't know too much about him. TJ Gananavel, don't know too much about the guy, but his direction in this film really impressed me. Cinematography was beautiful. The score was first class. A couple of niggles, as I mentioned earlier, in terms of where I saw this going before it happened. Predominantly because of the movie poster didn't have the Rajakanu character in the movie poster. He was only in it for briefly in the teaser. Kind of suggested to me I knew what his fate was. Did it ruin it? Certainly did not. And then obviously we got the Chandru character not coming in till the first 40 minutes of the film. Brave move from the director, I felt. Not utilising Surya in that way, but this is, as Ruth mentioned, this is Surya's production company with his wife, so he would have had a lot of input into when his character appears. And sometimes when things are based on true stories, sometimes a story is restricted to that, and it is based on true events, that you've got to stick to a sort of tight storyline because it is based on true events. I thought this was amazing, this film, from start to finish. Every element from the production, from the acting, was first class for me. And I'm talking about the niggles, and I know there isn't an A-, but it's too good a film to give it a B+. This is my first A.
Whoa, Stephen has given an A. But look, man, that's going to round it up. That's going to round up our review of Jai Bhim. What is your thoughts on the movie? Have you seen it? Do you agree with that incredibly high rating in IMDb? It's actually higher than Shawshank Redemption just now. I actually think it deserves to be that high. I think it's a really good movie. It is a 9-range movie. And when we change to the rating, the numbered system, it would be in the 9s. It's a very, very good movie. Yeah. So I agree with it. What was your thoughts on it? You can comment below if you've got anything to say about that and about this disastrous fucking review where we can't hear one of the people speaking. Maybe you can come in and comment the condensed version. We can actually get all of our thoughts on the movie. You can like the video if you've enjoyed it, dislike the video if you've hated it, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon to get notifications straight to your eyeballs, and hit the follow button over on Twitch as well to see us over there. We'll all be back doing live shows, I can assure you. We'll not be doing this reaction game all the time, but we'll still be fucking doing it because it gets a lot of views. It's not an Irish accent, by the way, it's a Scottish accent. You got it, yeah, Stephen's corrected. West of Scotland accent, not quite Irish. We're done here, guys. Thank you very much for watching. We're all done. Bye bye.